Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be showing you how to create your own Left 4 Dead map using Hammer. So you want to create a new folder or file, and then I like starting out with just drawing a box. Oh, before you start, you want to make sure your camera view is on 3D textured so you can tell what you're doing. Now, this is going to be our sky, this box. So you want to go to Browse, and then type in Skybox in this filter part. Skybox. And then you want to scroll down, should be at the bottom, and it's the one that looks like that and says Skybox. Not 2D, but that one. And then you just want to double click. And then hit Enter. Alright. Now I'm going to draw another box, and this is going to be a rock texture. Oh, wrong one. Rock. And then I'm just going to choose one of the blending ones. And then I'm just going to draw another rectangle. And then make sure it's the size I want it. Oops. So that'll do. And then I'll just hit Enter, and then I have my thingy. Oh, with the skybox, you want to select the skybox, and then you want to right click over here, and then you want to make hollow, and make sure that's on -16, so select a little minus button, and then 16. There we go, that's better. Now I can see where the edges are. Now let's add the water. So you want to draw another box, and then make sure it's the level of water you want. I'm going to go with that. Wait, maybe lower. And then I'm going to go to Browse again so I can choose my colors. And then I'm just going to type in water. Enter. And then there's a whole bunch you can choose from. I'm not too fussy, so I'm just going to go with dev water 3 beneath, whatever. And then I'm just going to hit Enter. Alright. Now, this looks pretty straightforward. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some texture to this terrain. So you want to select the area you want to texture, and then you want to go to Toggle Texture Application. Just let me move this forward so you can see what options I'm doing here. I don't change any of this, but you want to go to Displacement, and then you want to go to Create. And I usually go to Power 4, and then I just hit OK. And then you go to Paint Geometry, and that's how you do the selecting here. Now you can choose how big you want it, and I'm not sure what distance does. I think it's like how fast it makes it go up and down. So I'm just going to start with a hill. Simple enough. This is a pretty hard tool to use, so you're not going to get it straight away. And I'm not too fussy. I'm just going to create some like tall edges, some mountain terrain. That'll do me. And then you just exit, and then wait. You want to go back to that, and then you want to change it to your y-axis, or depending on what way you built it. And then you just want to edit that part, because that's just a bit too flat as well. Alright. And just exit that, and then apply. So there we have our terrain. Okay. I'm not sure if our water is still there, so I'm just to be on the safe side, I'm going to create another box. The same height the last level of water was, and same positioning, which was there. And then I'm just going to click, double click it, and then hit enter again. So I've got my water. Now you're going to want to put in your spawn points. So you want to go to the entities tool over here, and then you want to go down to these. And then you want to go to info survivor position is where the bots will spawn. So I'm going to put that in first, and I'm going to place it there. Usually it will show a picture of Francis. And that's it. And then you want to click the entities, hit enter. And then you want to go down here, and then you want to go to player start. I should say info underscroll player underscroll start. And then you just want to click that there and hit enter. Alright, now I'm just going to save my map in Documents, Drawing Tools, Left 4 Dead Maps, and I'm just going to save this as fun. And then you want to go to File, Run Map, and don't really change any of those. I like to keep them as normal. And it shouldn't take too long to load up the map. Should pop up with your normal loading screen, and then should just go straight on to the game. Now it usually says Bill is himself, Lewis is himself, Francis is himself, and Zoe is herself. That doesn't matter because the game will enter you as one. Oh no, we've got something wrong. I have spawned inside the rock. So we're going to want to exit to main menu, quit, okay. Then we'll want to go back to this. And obviously our spawns are like just inside the rock, and that's why I'm inside it. So I'm going to go to over here, select, and I'm just going to like lift them up a level. Doesn't matter if it's like floating in midair. And I'm just going to do the same with this. File, save, and I'm just going to run this map again. Shouldn't take too long. So loads the loading screen. And in my other video, I'm going to show you how to add zombies in. Knowing that in the next video they might not spawn straight away, so yeah, just be patient. Now it should say nav errors, map is unplayable. That's okay, because we haven't actually edited anything. We just built our terrain, which looks pretty good. And that's how you build your Left 4 Dead terrain. And just to show you that the water works, cannonball! Okay, I had a couple of errors, so now I'm stuck down here, and after a while you should start to lose health, and you should die. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to watch part 2 of this tutorial.